What's going on, everyone? Movie Game Guy here, back with Shelf 9, and this is the last of the horror DVDs that I have to show off as of, early in 2017. But, yeah, let's get into this, because I don't want it to be real long. If you hear noise in the background, me and my girl are in the process of moving, so, everything's pretty much a mess. I haven't done anything with this yet because I wanted to show you guys the last part, but we're moving on to bigger and better things. So let's get into this. First up, the Slumber Party Massacre collection from Shout Factory includes Slumber Party Massacre 1, 2, and 3. Pretty nice set. They're already released on Blu-ray right now from Scream Factory, but I'm fine with that set. Next up, awesome horror anthology, Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. Real cool stuff right here, obviously starring Snoop Dogg, Danny Trejo. You got people like Jason Alexander, Diamond Dallas Page. Pretty cool stuff, and pretty fun. I enjoyed it. This also comes with like a comic inside. Blue Underground release right here of Snuff. Pretty wild stuff. Just the disc to, I think this is, Sorority Row. I eventually got to pick that up one day. I think I got that from like my sister for she didn't want it. Next up, Soul Survivor. Decent movie. Definitely a ripoff of like Final Destination and all that. Pretty decent though. Elijah Dushku and Casey Affleck in that one. Larry Cohen film that I never hear anyone talking about. Special effects. Pretty decent. Species, which was released recently from the collector's edition from Scream Factory. I'm fine with this DVD. I wasn't that big of a fan of the Species series till I go and get the Blu-ray, so still need to get Species 2, but we got Species 3, which is the last one I would get. I'm not really a big fan of Species 4, but coming up next, David Cronenberg film I haven't checked out yet. It's called Spider. Definitely gonna check that out sometime soon. It's like a snake movie. It's like Doctor, trying to transform this dude into like half man, half snake. Pretty good film right here. Very underrated in my opinion. Next up, a sealed copy of Michelle Silvier's Stage Fright. Really awesome stuff right here. Seen the movie a bunch of times. Real good. Definitely gotta pop into this. I love the killer. It's got like an owl mask. Pretty cool stuff. Then right here, a Code Red film that I'm real happy to have. Stanley. Pretty cool stuff. This guy that has the power to control snakes, do his fighting for him. Next up, Starkweather, based off of Charles Starkweather, a serial killer from the 50s. Pretty cool. Probably my favorite horror movie of all time, the old Anchor Bay release of Stepford Wives. Absolutely love this movie. Just a classic all around. I just really like it. Next up, we got Stitches, a funny horror comedy about this killer clown that gets himself fucked at a kid's birthday party and comes back and takes his revenge some years later. Pretty wild effects in that. Next up, Dimension Extreme I haven't checked out yet. Storm Warning. Looks pretty sweet. I'm definitely going to check this out sometime soon. Snaps DVD release of Strange Behavior. A pretty good movie, also known as Dead Kids. Next up, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, starring Jack Palance. A pretty good film right here. I'm going to put it back in. Dee Snider's Strangeland. And I heard there's supposed to be a Strangeland 2 coming out. Pretty good movie. Dee Snider's all tattooed and pierced. I'm pretty bugged out, but pretty good. Next up, classic right here. Joan Crawford in Straight Jacket. Love this movie. If you guys haven't seen this shit, do yourselves a favor and check it out. Next, another Synapse DVD, Street Trash, 2-disc Meltdown Edition. Pretty nice. This has since been released on Blu-ray, but I don't know, I kind of like that DVD. If I come across the Blu-ray cheap, I'd probably pick it up one day. But next, Blue Underground release of Strip Nude for Your Killer. It's exactly what it is, an ultra trashy, but it's fun. Pretty wild stuff. Let's see. Next up, Subject 2, which I never hear anyone talking about. Very awesome film right here. It's like a different take on Frankenstein. Really good. If you guys haven't seen Subject 2, definitely check it out. That's extremely underrated in my opinion. Next up, Full Moon release of Subspecies 4, Bloodstorm. Used to rent the shit out of this all the time as a kid on VHS. Classic stuff. Not the best Subspecies by any means, but still an essential to have. Next up, Suburban Nightmare with Trent Haga, famous for working with Troma on a bunch of different stuff, more notably Terror Firmer. And we got Wes Craven's Summer of Fear with Linda Blair in it. Very underrated. Don't ever hear anyone talking about this. A good film. This one's pretty cool. The Surgeon, Malcolm McDowell and Peter Boyle. Pretty cool stuff. This is the DVD release. And then I got this one right here, which is cool. The Surgeon, the same exact movie, just in a jewel case instead of a regular DVD case. Pretty cool. Real happy to have it. Next up, Robert Powell and The Survivor, Katrina's Nightmare Theater film. Will release. Scorpion, pretty good film. I liked it a lot. Now we got the Epic Suspiria 3-disc set, which everybody has, or should have. This is the Canadian release. This is my number. The American version was 60,000 pressed, and the Canadian one at 10,000. Just happy to have it, but I really like that it's the Canadian release. And this thing's a fucking brick. You like drop this off of a 2-story building and it lands on some dude's head, they'll die. Not really, but maybe. Real cool release right here. This is the version that's uncut for Swamp Thing. This is the I think Australian release, but it's cool. It's got the Adrienne Barbeau boobs in it. Pretty cool. Happy to have that. Next up, Tales from the Hood, the DVD release, in very nice shape too, for a snapper case. Very happy to have this. I love that horror Hood anthology. Hood horror anthology, whatever. Tarnation Extreme film here with A Tale of Two Sisters. Very good film right here. I highly recommend this for everyone. I love this movie. Very good. Another one I haven't checked out yet, Tarantulas, The Deadly Cargo. I'm definitely going to be checking this out soon. Very happy to have it. Another good movie right here, Ted Bundy, based on obviously the serial killer Ted Bundy. Very good film adaptation. I had a lot of fun with this one. I like all of the actual serial killer movies that are out. Besides that new Ed Gein one with Kane Hodder, Michael Berryman. That one I could take or leave. Next up, Teenage Caveman from the Creature Feature line from Columbia TriStar. They did like 6 or 7 of these. Remakes from like 50s horror films with their own spin on it. Very cool stuff right here. This is directed by Larry Clark, known for like Kids and Ken Park, stuff like that. Very awesome movie, Teenage Caveman. Love it. Fuck that up. The Telling, which is a horror anthology with Holly Madison and Bridget Marquardt, or whatever the hell her name is. 2 of the 3 girls from The Girls Next Door. That was on that Playboy had going for a little bit. Next up, another older Anchor Bay release. Absolutely love this movie. The Tenderness of the Wolves. Probably Ole Lamel's best film in my opinion. Real good. Based on the serial killer, what was it, Fritz Harman. Next up, another older Anchor Bay release, Tenebrae. Love this release. For some reason, it's pretty bare, but I absolutely love it. I mean, it's got some special features, but overall, like it's not anything too crazy. I don't know, I love that release. Speaking of Terra Firma, classic Troma film right here. This is the 2-disc version. Very awesome. It includes the poster inside and all that. Really like that movie. Probably my favorite Troma film. Next up, bootleg, but a very nice bootleg of Terror on Tour. Very, very underrated film. I hope this gets released sometime on an official disc. If not Blu-ray, at least DVD. This one's from, it's just a bootleg, but it's really nice. Absolutely love it. Next up, Steelbook version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, obviously. And classic stuff right here. Absolutely love this one. Very nice. And up next, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, The Next Generation. Pretty cool stuff. Definitely the weakest, in my opinion, of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films, but I still enjoy it. Renee Zellweger's hot, so if you can't get anything else from it, at least you get to see her bugging out. Then you got up next, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which I thought was pretty good. I was real excited when this first came out. Really surprised me. And then we got the prequel to the remake, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. Basically tells you how Thomas Hewitt, became Leatherface, and how the whole family became what they were. The one thing I didn't like about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes is how they changed the name from Bubba Sawyer to Thomas Hewitt. I thought it was kind of weird. It is what it is, but real good French invasion film right here. Them, real good stuff released by Dark Sky Films. Highly recommend this one. Pretty creepy stuff. Intervision release of Things. Very wild shot on video crap, but I love it. I love what Intervision's doing. Their releases they put out are real nice. Next up, the Republican Pictures release of Thinner. This crazy widescreen thing on the side, but very good film right here, based on the Stephen King novel. It's directed by Tom Holland, famous for, obviously, you guys know, Child's Play. Pretty good stuff. Next up, Coffin Joe film, This Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. Still haven't opened it up yet or seen it, but I'll check it out sometime very soon. It's the older release. I know Synapse released like the trilogy, but I'm fine with these old ones. They were in with that like coffin set up there, so it's pretty cool. Next up, older Anchor Bay release, Thou Shalt Not Kill Except. I got this a little while ago on Blu-ray, but very awesome film. Sam Raimi as like the cult leader. Definitely inspired from Charles Manson and all that stuff. Very good stuff though. Very good. And we got Tom Holland's Twisted Tales. I got this when it first came out in Walmart, thinking it was cool. Horror anthology. It's got some decent stuff in it, but overall it's kind of lackluster, in my opinion. Next up, the original Toolbox Murders from Blue Underground. Love me some Cameron Mitchell. Some good stuff. Shameless release of Torso. Love the Shameless line, and I love Torso. Great film right here. I mean, it's just badass. Look at that guy. Great film. Next up, another great film from Full Moon releasing this. Tourist Trap. Very creepy stuff. Absolutely love this movie. Directed by David Schmoller. I think he did like a Puppet Master film too, if I can remember correctly. The Trauma DVD copy of Toxic Avenger Part 3. I still need to get the Blu-ray of this, but I'm fine with this at the moment. I love Part 3. Probably my favorite out of the first the four Toxic Avenger movies. Then we got Toxic Zombies, awesome video nasty. About these people working on these pot crops and just playing spray some shit down and they become zombies. Next up, Train to Busan. Very good film. Absolutely love this. One of the best movies of, I think, this year. Or did this come out last year? I don't know. But very new film and very awesome. Newer film. This is a gem of mine. The old Anchor Bay release of Transylvania 65000. Autographed by Ed Begley Jr., who I absolutely love. It's very, very cool. Very happy to have that. Ed Begley Jr. is an awesome guy. Another Anchor Bay release. This is Dario Argento's Trauma. Pretty hard to come by. You got Brad Dourif right there, looking all bugged out. Good stuff. Then we got another movie called Trauma. Totally different movie, just the same name as the Argento one. This is a pretty decent film right here. Don't really remember it too well, but I'll have to check it out again. I want to pick up a bunch more of those Full Moon Grindhouse collection releases. Next up, Tremors, classic. Everyone's got to have Tremors in their collection. And then I have Tremors 5, which is still sealed. Haven't opened this yet. I plan on getting the other Tremors films too, and just marathoning them all. Next up, Trick or Treat, cool 80s horror film. But this dude's like obsessed with metal. Pretty cool. Next up, another movie, Trick or Treat. Newer horror anthology that everyone seems to love. I still haven't watched this all the way through, sadly. I gotta get on that. then we got over here another Troma release, Tromeo and Juliet. Absolutely love this rendition of Romeo and Juliet. Just wacky ass Troma shit. It's such a classic. Next up, a Twilight Zone movie. Great movie. Absolutely love this. A lot of sad stuff that happened during the making of this, but the outcome, this movie was great. So, you know, whatever happened wasn't in vain. Blue Underground 2-disc limited edition release of Two Evil Eyes. And I think this is like a, I don't know, like a promotion copy or something, because there's no number up there or nothing like that. But pretty cool 2 films, one by Romero, one by Argento. Great stuff right here. Next up, Still Sealed. Got this for like $1 one day. The Shriek Show release of Two Orphan Vampires. Haven't seen it yet. A Gene Roland film I actually haven't seen that I own. And I plan on getting the Redemption one, so on Blue. Just keep that for now, I guess. Next up, real nice release right here, the Elite edition of Uncle Sam, the older one. Very nice. I absolutely love this release. I think it also comes with a cert. Yeah, if I can move the information, I showed it to you guys. Sorry about that. Pretty nice stuff. Pretty nice. See if I can get this back in here. And then I got the Blue Underground copy of Uncle Sam, Still Sealed. Had to get this. Just classic. Loved like the shininess of it. I Want You Dead. Yeah. Next up, another Video Nasty, Unhinged. Pretty decent film. Cool twist at the end. Like it a lot. Next up, Unnameable 2. They got to release fucking Unnameable sometime. So I hate having this one, but not the other one, the first one. But I still love both those films. Next up, Urban Legend. Classic right here. It's something I grew up watching. Real good film. A lot of great actors and actresses in this. And then we got Urban Legend's Final Cut. I haven't seen this yet. Heard it was okay. But, yeah, gotta check it out soon. Really good film right here, Valentine. Cool Valentine's Day horror film. Absolutely love Denise Richards. Beautiful, beautiful girl. And Katherine Heigl. Right there. She can get it too. Full moon release right here, Vampire Journals. Still haven't checked this out yet. I guess it's supposed to be like a 5th part in the subspecies or some shit like that. I don't know. It's always grouped into the subspecies films. Maybe it's because it's a vampire flick, but I don't know. Next up, Vampires, John Carpenter film. Pretty decent film. Not as good as I remember it being as a kid, but it's alright. Next up, more of a horror comedy. Alicia Silverstone and Vamps. A huge fan of Silverstone, so had to get that. Anchor Bay release with a slip. Kind of cool. I'm a sucker for these, like, you know, Killer Spider, Killer Snake films, so had to get Venomous with Treat Williams. Classic stuff. Used to watch that a lot on Sci-Fi Channel. Next up, Tokyo Shock release of Versus. A great film right here. Everyone should own Versus. Another one that's cool, VHS, a great horror anthology. The second one was real good too. I still haven't seen Viral, but I had to pick both those up. Now, the very first DVD I got that started this whole collection for me, went to FYE years ago, obviously, and picked up 2 things. I picked up this for like $6.99 brand new, and then I picked up Dead Kennedy's Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. So, my very first CD for this collection and my very first DVD, and this is pretty sentimental to me. I'll never get rid of this just for the simple fact that it was my very first one. It's pretty nice. Love Videodrome. Next up, the Severin release of Video Nasties, the definitive guide. Real awesome stuff right here. First disc is like the Video Nasties documentary, and disc 2 and 3 are just a bunch of trailers. All the trailers for the original Video Nasties. And then we got Severin's release of Video Nasties, the Definitive Guide Part 2, which is like the second list or Section 3 list. And the same thing. It's got the first disc is the documentary, and the second and third disc are just the trailers for the Section 3 list. I love those releases. Everyone should pick those up. Highly recommend them. Next up, an older Anchor Bay release of William Lustig's Vigilante. Pretty good stuff right here. You got Joe Spinell as like a lawyer in this film. Some pretty cool stuff. Really like it. Next up, the original Village of the Damned, the sequel Children of the Damned. Really good stuff from 1960 and 1963. Real good classics. And then we got the so-so remake that John Carpenter did in the 90s, Village of the Damned. It's alright. I know Scream Factory released the Blu-ray, but I didn't like it nearly enough to try to scoop it up. Go out of my way to get it. You know, it's whatever. I'm fine with the DVD. Next up, another cheesy snake film, Vipers. Pretty cool stuff. Tara Reid, real cheesy, but fun. Next up, fairly surprised about these two. They look real cheesy. This Creature, 2 great movies, one low price set. It's got Voodoo, Curse, The Get In, and Mexican Werewolf in Texas. Both pretty fun films, I'm not going to lie. I thought they're actually pretty good. Glad to have them. Got Anchor Bay with a Slip, Voodoo Moon. Decent film from Kevin Van Hook. Not the best, but not horrible either. It's okay. We're going to put that back in there. Next up, Massacre video release of Voyage to a Goddess. Very fucked up film right here. Some brutal shit. I like it a lot though. A Disney DVD right here with a Watcher in the Woods. Very cool stuff. Betty Davis. Some pretty creepy stuff, I'm not gonna lie. But I like it a lot. The Kino video release of Waxworks. Very great classic right here. It's real awesome, real fun. Definitely recommend it. Then we got Welcome to Spring Break. Pretty good film right here too. Good, like, you know, slasher flick. Next up, Tarnation Extreme release of Whispering Corridors. Still haven't checked this out yet, but I will very soon. We got Katrina Nightmare Theater line, release of Whispers, based on the Dean Koontz book. Pretty decent film right here. Kind of hard to come by, to be honest, nowadays. Happy to have it. Along with this one right here. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Love, love, love this film. If you guys haven't seen this and you don't own it, pick up Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. It's real great. Joan Crawford and Betty Davis collab. Next up, Warlock. Pretty classic right here. Then we got Warlock 2, The Armageddon. Pretty decent. Still Julian Sands. And then the completely garbage Warlock 3, The End of Innocence. It's more of like a nude porno thing than it is a fucking horror film, but had to have it to complete the Warlocks. Even though Vestron's releasing the Warlock collection, these will probably begin 86th. Right here, Wicked Lake. Pretty brutal stuff. My girl absolutely hates this movie, but I don't know. I think it's okay. Came with like the bonus CD inside too. Next up, Willard, the remake with Crispin Glover. Absolutely love this movie. This is such a great film. Used to watch this all the time. I don't know if this is a Blu-ray release or not, but I gotta look into that. Classic though. Next up, Nico Mastorakis film, The Wind. Pretty decent film right here too that I never hear no one talking about. Next up, Snapper Case release of Wishcraft. Pretty fun film right here too. Really like it. Released by HBO Video. And these I don't need anymore, but which you guys will find out in the collection update I do eventually. Wishmaster 1 and 2. Classics. Love both these films, but don't need that anymore. We got Wishmaster 3, Beyond the Gates of Hell. Decent one. And then the one that I wasn't really a fan of. Wishmaster 4, The Prophecy Fulfilled. I don't know, it was okay, I guess. Then we got Witchcraft, the first one. Pretty decent. I didn't mind that one. And I haven't seen Witchcraft 2 yet, but I don't think I'm going to pick up any more of these. Because there's like 15, 16 of them now, and they all seem to be real shitty after a while, so don't want to waste the space and the money on those, but got those for real cheap, so I was like, why not? Next up, Witchery. I know this is out on a double feature from Scream Factory, but it got the Shriek Show release. It's okay. Nothing too exciting, but I thought it was fun. Witch House from Full Moon. Real cheesy shit right here, but still, you know, had fun with it. And we got The Wraith. Real sick shit right here. I have a bad feeling that Vestron's going to release this sometime soon. But real happy to have this release. Real good stuff right there. Then we got the remake to Wizard of Gore with Crispin Glover, and honestly, I think Crispin Glover is the only reason why I still have this. I really didn't like this release at all, this version, but I might just have to give it another chance. Next up, the Wolfman, the Complete Legacy Collection. Still haven't opened it up yet, but I've seen all these before. Classics. Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, probably my favorite Universal monster movie. We got Fritz Lang's Woman in the Moon. Decent. Not your full-fledged horror, more sci-fi, but I don't know, it's pretty decent. I liked it. Fritz Lang's a good director. Next up, the only Wrong Turn film I have, Wrong Turn 2 Dead End. With a slip. I really got to get on getting the other ones. Real good film right here. You got Henry Rollins in it from The Great Black Flag and Rollins Band. But next up, Scream Factory release of Wormwood on DVD. Really love this movie. I mean, that says it all. Mad Max meets Dawn of the Dead. Very good flick right here. I definitely recommend it. I kind of wish I got it on Blu-ray, but it is what it is. Then next up, some rare ass shit right here. Extra. Still haven't checked this out yet. Just got it recently, but I'll get on that soon. Along with Extra 2, I got to check out. Yeah, they look real fun. They get Extra 3 still. Then we got Zipper Face. It was one of those like slim budget DVDs, but pretty decent film right here. I figured I'd put it in a regular case. It's an official release. Put like black construction paper around the back to give it that kind of like nice look, I guess. I don't know. I'm crazy. Then we got the Anchor Bay rare European cut of the Romero classic Zombie Dawn of the Dead. This is the one that Dario Argento edited and has basically like the whole soundtrack's Goblin. I think the whole soundtrack is Goblin. Great release right there. Real happy to have that. Along with this older Anchor Bay release of Lucio Fulci's Zombie, also known as Zombie Flesh Eaters. Classic. Absolutely love this movie. I love when that zombie's destroying, like, takes a bite out of the shark. Oh, that's pretty cool. They got this weird, like, German release of Zombie Holocaust, which I've never came across before. I've never seen this release before from Dragon Film Entertainment. But real nice release right here. This is like a nice insert and all that. We got it for like $1 somewhere, so I said, why not? Then we got a Zombie Honeymoon, underrated horror film right here. Pretty cool stuff. We got the lackluster Zombie Lake, which is kind of lame. I actually, I don't know. It was fun, but like it was kind of boring at times too. I'm kind of mixed about that one. And then last, but certainly not least, from Scorpion, Zombie Nightmare with Adam West and Tia Carrere. Classic. Had to get this. It's great stuff. But yeah, guys, that's it. Back up to show you guys. So this is what the whole thing looks like. If I don't trip. Right there for the horror discs that I have as of right now. It's constantly growing though. I'm moving to a new spot, so the stuff will probably be all different. I'm thinking about just putting all the Blu-rays in with the DVDs, just so it's literally just a library. But I don't know, I'll figure that out after. But thanks guys for watching. Alright guys, if you like this video in the series, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already. I always appreciate it. Thanks again guys so much for the support. It really means the world to me. You guys are the best. Yeah, thanks guys for watching and tune in for more videos. Take it easy guys.